There's a reason you feel disconnected right now. And once you hear this story, you'll understand the hidden message life has been trying to send you all along. There is a small mountain village surrounded by forests so dense that sunlight touches the earth only in narrow, golden strips. In that village lived a young man named Aaron, known by everyone as a quiet soul, someone who did what he was told, but never showed much excitement about life. He followed routines because routines felt safe, predictable, and acceptable. But deep inside, Aaron carried a silent weight, the feeling that he didn't know who he was supposed to be. Every morning, he woke before sunrise, helped his father with chores, walked the same dirt path to the same workshop, and returned home the same way. Days blended together like identical beads on a thread. Nothing changed, except the heaviness in his heart. Aaron often felt as if life was moving forward, but he was not. He watched others chase dreams, start families, build livelihoods, and find direction. Yet he remained unsure. Everyone seemed to have a purpose, except him. One evening, after a particularly tiring day, Aaron walked home through the forest path. The sky was painted in soft orange shades, and a cool breeze whispered through the leaves. He suddenly stopped walking. For a moment, he listened to the sound of the forest, the rustling leaves, the distant call of birds, the soft hum of the wind. Something inside him broke. He sat down on a fallen log and buried his face in his hands. "Why do I feel so lost?" he whispered. "What am I meant to do? Why can't I understand my own life?" His voice trembled with frustration. He wasn't angry at anyone, just overwhelmed by the emptiness of not knowing. At that moment, an old man appeared from behind a cluster of trees. His hair was long and silver, his beard flowing like strands of white smoke. He carried a wooden staff, and his eyes, though aged, shone with remarkable clarity. Aaron quickly wiped his tears, embarrassed. The old man smiled kindly. "Son, even the sky cries sometimes. Why hide your rain?" Aaron looked at him uncertainly but said nothing. The man sat beside him. "Tell me, what troubles you?" Aaron hesitated, but something about the stranger made him feel safe enough to speak. "I feel lost," Aaron admitted quietly. "Everyone around me seems to know what they're doing, what their purpose is, and I don't. I don't know who I'm supposed to become. I wake up, I work, I sleep, but inside, it feels like something is missing." The old man nodded, as though he had heard the story 1,000 times. Then he said, "Come with me. Let me show you something." Although confused, Aaron felt compelled to follow. The old man led him deeper into the forest until they reached a small clearing with a single massive oak tree. Its trunk was wide and ancient, its branches stretching outward like welcoming arms. "Look at this tree," the old man said. Aaron stared at it. "It's a tree," the old man chuckled. "Yes. But do you know its story?" Aaron shook his head. "When this tree was a seed," the old man began, "it didn't know what it would become. It didn't know it would grow this tall, or provide shelter for birds or shade for travelers. A seed has no idea of its purpose. All it knows is that it must simply grow." Aaron listened carefully. This tree survived storms, lightning, harsh winters, and scorching summers. During those times, it probably felt lost too, unsure if it would survive the next moment. But still, it kept growing. It didn't search for a grand purpose. It simply lived each day with willingness to keep moving upward. The old man placed a hand on the bark, and over time, purpose found it. Aaron felt the weight of those words sink in. "But how do I grow?" he asked softly. "When I don't even know where to start?" The old man turned toward him. "You start where you are, with what you have. With what you can do, purpose is not something you chase. Purpose is something you discover as you walk. Imagine trying to see the entire mountain before you take the first step. Impossible, isn't it? But if you take one step and then another, the mountain reveals its path to you." Aaron looked down at his hands, thinking deeply. The old man continued, "You don't need to know your purpose right now. You only need to take the next honest step, the next sincere action, the next moment of courage. Life is not asking you to finish the journey today. It's only asking you to move forward. For the first time in a long while, Aaron felt a small spark ignite inside him. The old man suddenly pointed at a nearby bush where a cocoon hung from a branch. "Do you know what's inside?" he asked. "A butterfly?" Aaron guessed. "Yes, and do you think the caterpillar knew it would someday fly? It only knew how to crawl. It didn't understand its transformation. It simply followed the silent call of growth." Aaron watched the cocoon swaying gently in the breeze. "You are no different," the man said. "You may feel lost because you are in your cocoon phase, between who you were and who you are becoming. Feeling lost does not mean you are failing. It means you're still growing." Aaron inhaled deeply, feeling something shift in his heart. "But what if I make the wrong choices?" he asked. The old man's eyes softened. "There are no wrong choices, only learning. A traveler who takes a detour still reaches his destination, and sometimes he discovers beautiful places he wouldn't have seen otherwise. Do not fear mistakes, fear standing still." Aaron nodded slowly. Then the old man said, "Come, there's one last thing to show you." He guided Aaron to a small pond nearby. The water was so still it looked like glass. "Look into the water," he instructed. Aaron did. He saw his reflection, tired eyes, doubtful expression, shoulders weighed down by invisible burdens. The old man spoke gently. "You're searching for your purpose out there," he pointed to the horizon. "But purpose begins here." He tapped Aaron's chest. "Inside you." Aaron's reflection shimmered as the surface of the water rippled. The old man continued, "When you feel lost, it's not because your purpose is gone. It's because you've stopped listening to your inner voice, the one that whispers instead of shouts. Sit with yourself. Ask, what small thing can I do today that feels meaningful? Do that and then another. Over time, your path will unfold." Aaron closed his eyes for a moment. Something within him, long silent, finally stirred. When he opened his eyes, the old man was smiling. "My work here is done," the old man said. "Wait," Aaron called out. "I don't even know your name." The old man chuckled softly. "Names are not important, growth is." And before Aaron could say another word, the old man walked into the trees and disappeared from sight, leaving Aaron alone, but no longer lonely. The next morning, Aaron woke before sunrise again, but something was different. He didn't feel empty. He didn't feel like he was drifting. He felt ready, not to solve his whole life in one day, but to take one genuine step instead of following the same routine. He picked up a notebook and wrote down 3 simple things he had always wanted to learn but never tried, because he thought they wouldn't matter: painting, wood carving, teaching children in the village. None of them were grand goals, none felt like purpose, but they felt meaningful in small, gentle ways. And that was enough. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Aaron practiced, failed, improved, and grew. He helped children learn. He carved small wooden toys that made people smile. He painted sunsets that reminded villagers of beauty they had forgotten to notice. People began to recognize him, not for being lost, but for being alive. Over time, Aaron found clarity. His purpose was not a single destination. It was a journey made of countless meaningful moments. He became someone who inspired others simply by being present, sincere, and willing to grow. And one day, standing beneath the same oak tree, he whispered to himself, "I wasn't lost, I was becoming." The lesson when you feel lost: remember this: you are not failing. You are transforming. Purpose does not appear in a flash of lightning. It appears slowly, through small steps, through sincere effort, through quiet courage. A seed does not know it will become a tree. A caterpillar does not know it will become a butterfly. And you do not yet know the greatness waiting within you. But keep moving. Keep rowing. Keep listening to your inner voice. Purpose will find you exactly when you're ready for it.